While Frank is eating his macaroni and cheese here at the luncheon for Smokin' Al's, yeah, it's the Jay Black 70th birthday luncheon. And you can see all the great B103 listeners, all the winners that are here. They've got questions for Jay Black. So let's start with question number 1.
How did you get to be the Jay and the Americans?
Well, there was a lead singer named Jay Trainer. He had one hit song and the group was doing nothing. He quit and someone asked me to join. And I said, only if I can take over the group and be in charge. And I took over, and the rest is history. You know, we did Only in America. And I started incorporating comedy and shtick into the show. We played all the college concerts. I loved college concerts because I never finished high school.
Follow-up question. Jay's hit with the group was She Cried. Do you ever perform She Cried?
Not anymore. I got very bitter after that whole Jay and the Americans thing when I lost the name. So I don't want to confuse people. I don't want to have anything to do with the name.
What's your favorite Jay and the Americans hit?
Well, 2 of them. One is Some Enchanted Evening.
That's mine.
I had to fight them to do that, and Caramia. I had to fight them. I had to fight them for that too. They didn't believe in
I
it.
love What Would Mary Say, too.
Well, that wasn't really a hit, but it's one of my favorite songs.
But you do that so, we've seen it, what, 7 or 8 times?
Well, my favorite song that I do in the act was a song I never recorded. Phoenix.
Those two. It's in
I'm hoping Jimmy Webb shows up at the show.
you sing those songs better than
Thank
anyone. From your heart, you sing that song. Makes me cry.
Hi. Is it true that you come a little bit closer in one take?
And Caramia in one take.
Wow.
They didn't want to do, yeah, in fact, when I listen to it, I cringe. There are a few bad notes that probably don't pick. If the guy from Idol, Randy, he would say you pitch. There's some pitch problems in that. I had it, but they wouldn't let me do it fast. They said you got 3 minutes, do it. And it was the other side of a song, and then they turned it over. The whole country turned it over.
I have a loaded question for you. What do you do when you're not performing?
What I'm doing here. I watch television day and night.
And you come down to Westbury to hang out with us, right?
I come down and hang out with Michelle. And then I get phone calls. Do you know how old she is?
How many records did you sell, Jay? Have you sold?
Millions. I probably got paid for hundreds, but that's the way the record business was.
1 million?
I sold, Magic Moments sold about 4 or 5 million records.
Do you ever get the urge to record a new song?
Not really, because I don't know who the audience would be that would buy records. Today they don't even buy records anyway. People go to the computers and download it. I wouldn't even know how to do that.
Is there a song out today you'd like to do your own take on, or that you've heard in the last whatever number of years, and you say, you know what, I'd like to give that. I'd like to. You could obviously do it in your show if you wanted to. But is there a song you say, you know, if I could get my hands on that song?
No, I can't think. I don't listen to the radio. Only to you guys.
That was close.
Hey, what artists from your era do you still enjoy?
Artists from my era?
Yeah, I mean, you like Frankie, you like Beach
I love
Boys.
Frankie. I love the Beach Boys hits. I love the Bee Gees were like one of my favorites.
What about Dion?
I loved it. I know Dion. We're close friends, and he got mad at me once, and I was going to hit him, but I didn't. Yeah. We were doing a show, so I did a whole routine. So it's my shtick. Have you been at my shows?
Yeah.
So you know what I do.
Yeah.
So I did a thing which you probably heard me do. It was during when Mel Gibson did The Passion of the Christ.
Yeah,
remember?
yeah.
There was this whole controversy. So I said, hey, I was in Florida, right, Sandy? Wasn't that in Florida?
Yes.
I said, yeah, the Jews killed Christ. I said, the archaeologist dug up a note that said, I did it, signed Murray. And the place... I thought that was a funny line. So everyone went nuts. And you got to remember, the audience was half Jewish, half Christian, and they thought it was funny. They knew I was kidding around. Nothing sacrilegious about what I said. And then Dion comes over and goes, you don't make fun of the Lord. I liked you better when you were a junkie.
Jay, what do you think of American Idol?
I love it. I enjoy it. I wonder about some of those auditions that I start thinking they're rigged. They're so bad that I wonder if they're real. I mean, you mean these people don't know that they suck? I mean, they get...
Hey, do you still enjoy hearing your songs played, or is it old hat by now?
That's a very difficult question.
If you hear yourself on the radio, do you turn it up and listen?
Yes.
No?
No?
She does. I'm more interested in what people have to say. The actual song isn't important to me. It's what they say about me or the song. That's the important thing.
Yeah, but you listen.
Jay, what would you like to do that you haven't done yet?
What would I like to do?
Not
Who would I
what.
like to do?
I knew it. I
I don't know. You know, at this age, you don't really think of the future. Really. You know, you picture who's going to be the pallbearers and stuff like that. But I don't know what I'd like to do. When I was a kid, I was always funny. You know what I mean? I knew I could sing better than anybody, but I said I'm never going on stage. I wouldn't have the nerve. In fact, the first 2 years of my career, I threw up before every show. You know how I stopped? I once did such a bad show, the audience was throwing up.
How does it feel to hold the Westbury record for the most sellouts?
It feels great. I'm proud of it. There's been some great artists there. But then again, you have to look at it that I do 2 shows a year. And some artists don't, you know, that sell out all the time. But I take great pride in that.
If you could remake one of your hits, which one would you like to redo?
Not necessarily because you don't like it, but maybe you'd like to do it a different way, or, gee, I wish I had done it this way.
Man, that's a very hard question. I love Walking in the Rain the way it is.
Good song.
You can't change a hit like Magic Moment or Come a Little Bit Closer.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do with Caramia.
I think they're perfect.
Only in
just as
America.
they
Yeah, I would like to do that again because that's another one we did over the Drifters track, and they sped it up because they didn't think it was fast enough, and I hate my voice on that song. But it's a cornball song anyway.